created the Ultimate Chauffeur Training video series to provide you with the knowledge and skills necessary to become an asset to your company. These tapes will provide a solid foundation for the professional chauffeur. They are designed to work in tandem with the policies and procedures training that your company has put in place. Simply put, if you follow the advice given on these training tapes, I promise that you will be a top-flight professional chauffeur and you will maximize your earning potential. On tape 1, we cover the luxury limousine business, chauffeur dress, demeanor, and preparation, the vehicles. On tape 2, we cover trip assignments, the ABCs of safe driving, creating winning relationships on the job. We have also included a written outline and testing materials with your tapes. The first and most important item you must understand is what the luxury limousine business is all about. The basic goal of every limousine service in the world is to extend the service delivered in a 4-star hotel to the back of a chauffeured vehicle. This basic premise is so important and so fundamental, let me explain it further. The limousine industry is not selling transportation from point A to point B. You are not just drivers. Drivers deliver pizza. You are a professional chauffeur, a concierge on the road. Your job is to consistently deliver world-class service. We are creating an experience. It is the experience of style, class, and comfort. Let me explain what I mean. I'm in downtown Philadelphia today in front of the Ritz-Carlton Hotel. This full-service luxury hotel chain has been recognized as the finest in the world by a who's who of professional organizations. Their service levels are legendary, and they even have their own training facility in Atlanta, the Ritz-Carlton Leadership Development Center, where business executives in all fields learn to deliver legendary service. The Ritz-Carlton Hotel, like every hotel, delivers a basic service. They provide a clean, comfortable, quiet room with a bed, television, desk, and bathroom. What allows the Ritz-Carlton to charge significantly more than most hotels are the extraordinary levels of service their staff delivers every day. The Ritz-Carlton does not just sell hotel rooms, they create an experience. They transport a business traveler from the pressures of corporate life to a world of unparalleled luxury where their every desire is anticipated and every need satisfied. This is exactly the job of the professional chauffeur. The Ritz-Carlton motto is, we are ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen, and that is exactly who we in the luxury transportation business are. A taxi cab from downtown Philadelphia to the airport is $25. A chauffeured vehicle from a private limousine company is around $55. Only 5% of airport travelers hire a chauffeured vehicle. What are those select 5% looking for? Number 1, they are looking for an immaculately dressed and punctual chauffeur. Number 2, they are looking for a meticulously clean sedan or limousine. Number 3, they want a professional chauffeur who knows multiple routes to their destination. Number 4, they want a chauffeur with a positive, professional attitude. Besides the quality of the vehicle, the biggest difference between the $25 cab ride and the $55 sedan is the service provided by you, the professional chauffeur. It is very important to remember what our clients expect on every trip. Notice I did not say a brand new vehicle. I said a clean, well-maintained vehicle. Regardless of the system your company will use to keep the vehicle clean, the professional chauffeur is always the last checkpoint for a clean vehicle. Your client may not notice that your stretch limousine is 4 model years old, but he will notice a cigarette in the ashtray or an empty bottle in the storage bin every single time. And believe me, your client does not want to hear, "But it isn't my job to clean the car." For all intents and purposes, in the course of his or her trip, you are the limousine company and you are responsible for the condition of the vehicle. Here's a quick checklist for each and every trip. Number 1, make sure the vehicle has a full tank of gas and all fluid levels have been checked. Number 2, open the trunk and make sure there's no trash. Number 3, get in the back seat of the vehicle. Make sure the floor is vacuumed and the ashtrays are clean. Number 4, make sure the windows and tires are clean. Number 5, if weather conditions make it impossible to keep the outside of the vehicle clean, pay special attention to the condition of the interior of the vehicle. The message is to take ownership of each and every one of the trips you're driving. Physically examine the back seat and trunk of the vehicle you are driving. The more you think like the owner of the company, the better your job performance, the greater satisfaction for your clients, and the better your tips. The goal of every limousine company is to establish an ongoing, long-term relationship with a client. The key to establishing this long-term relationship is to treat the client in a low-key, professional manner. The client's identity and personal information must be kept in the strictest of confidence. Some of your clients do not want anyone to know that they use a luxury limousine service. They may be involved in sensitive business situations. They may not want their peers or neighbors to know how much they travel or that they enjoy going to the casino. It is very important that you do not mention the name of one client to another. Again, since very few people use luxury limousine service, it's important to treat your clients carefully and with all the skill, professionalism, and discretion you can muster. And remember, people are non-confrontational by nature. Your company may lose a very important client and never receive as much as a phone call on why it happened. So let's summarize what we learned in Chapter 1 of our training program. Number 1, you are a professional chauffeur, not a driver. You are a concierge on the road. Number 2, you are creating an experience of style, class, and comfort. Number 3, keep in mind the motto of employees at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel. We are ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen. Number 4, one of the biggest differences between a cab ride and a luxury sedan is you. Number 5, the professional chauffeur is always the last checkpoint for a clean vehicle. Number 6, before every trip, make sure the gas tank is full, clear of all trash, vacuum the back seat, and make sure the windows and tires are clean. Number 7, take ownership of every trip. Number 8, your client's identity and personal information must be kept in the strictest of confidence. Let's examine the basic elements of what makes up the chauffeur travel experience. Let's first look at some basic items such as the chauffeur uniform. The basic chauffeur uniform has not changed in many years. Although the rules of your employer may be a little different, I'll present to you the industry standard. A male chauffeur should wear a clean pressed black suit, a crisp white shirt, a tie, preferably black or a company tie, shine black shoes with black dress socks. In wintertime, a single button black raincoat or wool overcoat. Sunglasses when conditions dictate need. A female chauffeur should wear a simple black pantsuit or black skirt. Jewelry is generally limited to a wedding band and plain earrings for female chauffeurs. A quality professional should always be well groomed, and cologne or perfume should be used sparingly. My personal preference is that of a uniform. I believe the uniform should be distinctive but not gaudy. A distinctive company tie looks great and gently reminds the chauffeur he or she is part of a team. To an outsider, these emphatic rules on dress may seem silly or outdated. What's wrong with a tan sport coat and a blue dress shirt? It doesn't affect the way you drive or the level of service you deliver. The appearance of the chauffeur is important to the paying customer. The client has an expectation of what a professional chauffeur looks like, and it's our job to meet that expectation every time. Some limousine operators incorporate the traditional chauffeur's hat or even gloves as part of the standard uniform. Veteran chauffeurs have often told me wearing these items has dramatically increased their gratuities. You should also be aware that many limousine companies require their driving staff to wear tuxedos with formal shirts and accessories. Regardless of which uniform you wear, it is critically important to keep one or two of your suits dry cleaned and pressed, as well as making sure you have extra dress shirts and ties. And it's a good idea to keep an extra pair of shoes with cedar shoe trees on hand. It's also a good idea to keep some extra supplies in a briefcase or small duffel bag. These supplies should include your appointment book, pen, calculator, local maps, breath mints, and at least $20 in small bills. A comb, brush, flashlight, some towels, and even some glass cleaner are helpful. An umbrella, trash bag, airport sign, and credit card slips are important. Finally, have a blank run sheet, air freshener, sewing kit, first aid kit, maybe a cell phone charger, and business cards with your cell phone number on them. The umbrella is especially important. It should be a large black umbrella, and you should always be prepared to assist your client in bad weather situations. Now let's take a look at trip preparation. 90% of the problems in the limousine business are due to a lack of preparation. That lack of preparation includes sending out a vehicle with a mechanical or cosmetic problem, receiving incomplete instructions from the client at the time the trip was booked, chauffeurs who, quote, prepare on the fly for each assignment. It may happen that your company will be forced to assign work to you on short notice. This is an unavoidable situation in the luxury transportation industry. However, many times trips are assigned a few hours before or even the night before, especially in the cases of wedding, prom, and other charter work. There is no excuse for being late or missing a pickup. It is critically important to prepare yourself as much as humanly possible for each trip. New chauffeurs especially need to learn the local area inside and out. Remember, number 1, locate the pickup address on your map. Number 2, plan your trip carefully. Number 3, make sure your gas tank is full. The only time it's acceptable to stop for gas is on a long trip where it's unavoidable. Number 4, make sure you know an alternate route. Number 5, if you know that the clients will be visiting multiple locations, such as a bar hopping charter, make sure you get the addresses before the trip. And if you're working in a large city, make sure you plan out where to park your limousine. Number 6, ask your dispatcher or supervisor about landmarks or other important information as to the pickup location. Here's something else to keep in mind in the area of trip preparation. When a professional chauffeur greets his passenger, it's appropriate to ask a simple question. Mr. Smith, I'll be taking you to Logan Airport this morning. Is there a particular route you prefer? Many times the passenger will say only, just get me there as fast as you can. But other times the passenger will state a particular route. Do not argue with your client. No one ever won an argument with a paying customer. Listen to your client, do the best to follow their advice, and move on. Again, do not argue with your client. Please note, on every prearranged trip, the professional chauffeur should know exactly where the location or locations are. A professional chauffeur is dead wrong if he says, "My passengers know where they're going and they will direct me." It may be acceptable for a taxi cab driver or the super shuttle driver to ask for directions, but it's not acceptable that a passenger would be forced to direct a professional chauffeur in his or her local area. Again, make sure you have physically inspected your vehicle inside and out before picking up your client. It is especially important for you to open the trunk and make sure there is no trash or dirty glasses in the trunk. Check the ashtrays, inside windows, seat backs, and the area under the seats. It's incredibly embarrassing to open the trunk or back seat of your vehicle while handling your client's luggage and discovering an empty bottle or filled trash bag, or even worse. Promptness and dependability are an absolute must in this business. When picking people up at a private residence, the professional chauffeur should arrive 10 minutes ahead of the assigned pickup time. Arriving any earlier will make the client feel rushed and is considered rude and unprofessional. Do not blow your horn, but at the appointed pickup time, if no contact has been made, do knock on the door or ring the bell. Your client is expecting you. If you are more than 10 minutes early, scout out the pickup address and then park around the corner until 10 minutes before pickup time. Pickups at a business or hotel are a little different. It's okay to arrive earlier at a hotel or business address. Whenever possible, announce yourself to the front desk. Tell them you know you're early, but could you please let Mr. or Miss So-and-so know that I'm here when they're ready to go. It is important to remember to never argue with a hotel doorman, receptionist, airport policeman, or a myriad of people you will come in contact with as a professional chauffeur. You will never win an argument, and often the only outcome will be that your customer will be poorly served, your boss will receive an angry call, and your company's other chauffeurs will face retaliation. Be calm, be professional at all times, and use good judgment and diplomacy whenever possible. The key to delivering world-class service on every trip is knowing your client. This means knowing as much as possible about the client. Information in the profile includes much more than a basic name, address, and telephone number. The information ranges from what newspaper your client prefers to his or her beverage of choice, birthday, and preferred routes. You are not supposed to probe the client for personal information. However, when it is shared with you openly, it is your duty to in turn share it with your supervisor or note it on your trip sheet. A good example will be Mr. Jones, who is a regular client of ABC Limousine. His typical service involves early morning airport pickups at his home. Mr. Jones wants the chauffeur to wait in his driveway with his headlights off. He expects a Wall Street Journal and Starbucks coffee waiting for him in the back of the car. By making sure this information is part of a client profile, Mr. Jones's chauffeur has helped the entire company understand how to service the account properly. Their level of service will keep customers loyal and also pay off in improved gratuities for the chauffeurs. The basic demeanor of the chauffeur is calm and professional at all times. The working professional chauffeur is always representing his employer. This means you should assume you are being observed on the job at all times. Many prospective clients will see you as you work. This means you are responsible for your company's public image at all times. Be alert. Remember, you are dealing with all types of people whose moods vary widely. Your client may have just lost a big business deal. He may have a sick child or recently lost a spouse or parent. The point is, in dealing with the public, we must be sensitive to our clients and their particular circumstances. Chauffeurs should speak when spoken to. When you meet a client, look them directly in the eye, address them formally, and state your business. Mr. Johnson, my name is Joe Rucker, and I'll be taking you to TF Green Airport this morning. If your client has a difficult or unusual name, find out the correct pronunciation. If the client says to you, Please do not open the door for me or hold an umbrella for me. Respect his wishes and do not force service on him. Your radio should be turned off when the client enters the vehicle. If the client asks for the radio to be turned on, it should be at a moderate volume and turned to the station requested by the passenger or an all news or classical station. If a client wants to engage you in conversation, do so. You should never be involved in a discussion involving religion, politics, or any topic that can be considered remotely controversial in nature. Here's something to remember always. Many clients view the back of your vehicle as a sanctuary in their busy, busy lives. They turn their cell phones off, close their eyes, and enjoy a mini vacation as you drive. The last thing they want to do is to chit-chat. Please do not be offended in any way. One of the most common reasons that a client will fire your company would be a personal problem with a chauffeur. And again, remember, clients are non-confrontational by nature. One of the top complaints received by luxury transportation companies when an account is lost is that the chauffeur said or did something inappropriate. In many ways, the chauffeur acts as your company's best salesperson. Each time the chauffeur is on time in a clean car, he or she has in effect made a successful sales call. Beyond the obvious, the chauffeur is an important source of information for clients and the general public. The professional chauffeur should always be ready to provide a business card, brochure, or any requested material to clients or potential clients. The chauffeur should know the company website address. The chauffeur should be advised by his or her supervisor what information to pass on. Generally, a working chauffeur will be able to discuss the basic vehicles and services their company offers. But be careful. Never allow a curious person to look in the back of your vehicle when someone else is renting it. There is just too much of a danger should there be missing personal items. If a person wants information about your vehicle or your company or a vehicle inspection, give them a company business card and a good time to call. The most important elements of a chauffeur's job are obviously driving and customer service. It is important for the chauffeur also to identify potential customers, speak positively about the company, and relay information back to his or her supervisor. Top quality chauffeurs act as the eyes and ears of the company they work for. Your job as chauffeur is to anticipate and meet the needs of your client. Basic chauffeur etiquette would include the following. Make sure the vehicle is clean inside and out and properly stocked with newspaper, cold beverages, and other amenities. Position your vehicle so that the right rear door is nearest the building door your client will use as an exit. The passenger will normally sit in the right rear. Always ask the client if they have a preferred route. Never disagree or get in a confrontation with a client. Again, you never win. Open the door for your clients unless they specifically ask you not to. Offer your forearm to your clients if necessary when they enter or exit your vehicle. Take care of your passengers first, then their luggage. The chauffeur should always walk around the back of the vehicle when assisting passengers. Load and unload luggage for your clients. If your company permits it, bring the luggage into the client's home. Stand outside the vehicle to wait for the client's arrival. Never eat in or smoke in your assigned vehicle. Never give your consent to allowing illegal activity in your vehicle. In many instances, you will be responsible for the actions of your backseat passengers. If a client persists in acting in an illegal manner, call your supervisor or the police if necessary. Take the chauffeur's position in the center of the vehicle when it isn't a stretch, in the front right when it's a sedan. Do not accept a client's invitation to socialize. If you are asked, explain that safety for the vehicle and its contents is your responsibility at all times. If you feel that you must socialize with a client, let your supervisor know. Lock any of the client's property or valuables in the trunk, and if possible, tip the hotel or valet staff to keep an eye on your vehicle. Obviously, you should never consume alcoholic beverages when you're on the job. Never take personal calls while you have clients in your vehicle. This is common sense, but it's amazing the number of professional chauffeurs who violate this rule. Keep the vehicle in your sight, under your control, unless absolutely impossible. Check the vehicle carefully when the client is exiting. Specifically check for briefcase, luggage, laptop, or cell phones. Ask the client if he or she has everything. It is extremely inconvenient to have to find a client and return lost items after a trip is concluded. Always make sure your passengers are exiting the vehicle on the curb side. If the vehicle is full and has passengers on both sides, make sure you get out and physically assist them. If you are in a bad weather situation, be especially careful to make sure your passengers have solid footing when they exit the vehicle. Now let's review what we've learned in Chapter 2. Number 1, your clients have an expectation of what a professional chauffeur looks like, and it's your job to meet that expectation every time. Number 2, keep some extra supplies on hand in the vehicle, including a large black umbrella, pen, calculator, local maps, breath mints, flashlight, car cleaning supplies, trash bags, an airport sign, and credit card slips. Number 3, do not argue or disagree with a client's suggestion. No one ever won an argument with a client. Number 4, do not blow your horn when waiting for a client. Number 5, be calm and professional at all times and use good judgment and diplomacy whenever possible.